Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports into something we don't talk about here. My name is Matt.
My name is Dyl, and it's everyone's favorite time of the week. It is time for a brand new draft. And this week's draft, it's the cinematic event of the year. Barbenheimer hits theaters. We're going to have our own little Christopher Nolan list that we're doing on another day, but today is all about Barbie. It's all about Greta Gerwig, because in preparation for the movie Barbie, she made a little bit of a watch list of movies that she watched and she got inspired by to make this movie. So we're going to be drafting from those. That link to that list will be in the description down below if you want to see the full list of all the movies that are available. But before we dive into today's draft, Matt has a very, very, very special announcement to make to everyone out there.
Yes, that is, you gotta join our Discord if you want to join the Fantasy Filmball game. We started this because we play a game together, and it's not the draft that you're seeing right now. It is a draft of all of the upcoming movies of the Oscar season, and anyone can play this game. All you have to do is join our Discord. You'll be assigned to a league. You'll draft a team of 10 films. Those films will collect points through the Oscar season, and the person with the best team of movies will win at the very end of the year. It's a really fun game, and y'all gotta join in before August 15th so that you can get your butt into a league. And that is the announcement. So let's get on with the draft. And like Dylan said, today we're going to be drafting from Greta Gerwig's Barbie Watchlist, which is a really great list of all of Greta Gerwig's influences for this movie. Because I won last week, I get first pick this week. And there are a lot of great movies on here. But you know what? I have to go with my third favorite movie of all time, and I think I'm going to doom my team with this one because I'm leaving a certain Francis Ford Coppola movie on the table with this. But give me, first off, Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey, which is the opening sequence of Barbie. This movie absolutely changed the game for not just science fiction, but also how audiences interacted with art house films, how art house films could be blockbusters and vice versa. So that is easily my number one choice. It's a masterpiece that I think is absolutely genre defining. Dylan, are you going to take the obvious one?
I feel like I have to, not just because it is the obvious choice, but because it is my favorite movie on this list here, and that is The Godfather. I think this is one of, if not the best movie from its generation. It stood the test of time, and yeah, I mean, I would be crazy not to take The Godfather here, because, I mean, honestly, you may say, like, The Godfather could be a trump card to 2001, but I think these are easily, like, 1A and 1B for a lot of people. They can go either way, and I think the draft really starts here, round two, pick one, and then maybe some movies I personally enjoy a little bit more, but I know if I don't take this one now, it's not making it back to me, and that will be The Truman Show. I feel like when we first all heard about a Barbie movie, we were like, oh, what is this movie really gonna be about? And then we saw some trailers, and a lot of people put connections together that, hey, it could kind of be like The Truman Show. And Truman Show, great movie.
You said that wouldn't get back to you, but I'm gonna be honest, Dylan, I love Truman Show. That and The Godfather would not be in my top 5, maybe not even my top 10 on this list. I love so many of the movies that Greta Gerwig is putting out here. There are so many amazing films that it was really hard for me to narrow a list down to just 5. First off, I am gonna have to take... I am so torn. Do I want to win the game, or do I want to just take my 5 favorite films? I think I don't care about winning the game this time. I'm gonna take my favorite films. So next up, give me Singin' in the Rain.
You hate on Babylon, but you like Singin' in the Rain. I see how it is.
I love Singin' in the Rain. I don't hate Babylon, but Singin' in the Rain does what it does better in every single way. Singin' in the Rain is a wonderful musical. Greta Gerwig says that this is her favorite movie of all time, and those influences show in Barbie. This is one of the funniest musical comedies ever made. It's got great song and dance sequences, a wonderful dream ballet, which is referenced in Barbie. Singin' in the Rain is just an absolute classic and one of the greatest films ever made. And after that, actually, you know what? I think I am gonna go for the win here. I'm gonna take The Wizard of Oz. Because I knew that if I left that on the table, you're going to win this game. So this one is just a classic. It is a wonderful piece of art that has absolutely stood the test of time. A lot of the influences here really do show in Barbie, but you can't do it quite like they did back in the 30s, no matter what. And The Wizard of Oz still stands supreme in terms of that sort of wonderful artificiality that it has.
I'm upset because The Wizard of Oz was going to be my first like overall pick originally. It was like, oh, I need The Godfather. It was like, oh, Truman Show, it's beloved. It's not going to make it back. We've had drafts before where Wizard of Oz is in play, and you passed. So I was like, okay, maybe he's not a huge Wizard of Oz fan, because I surely am. So I'm a little upset that's off the board, and because I'm upset that's off the board, I feel like I kind of have to swing big here, and I'm going to swing super, super big. So give me Pee-wee's Big Adventure, because this film it knows what it is, and it delivers on the promise. And you know, honestly, for a lot of people out there, maybe myself included, Barbie does that as well. And Pee-wee, I think, is a movie that you can show to people of all ages, but when you show it to like people when they get older, they very much appreciate it on a whole new level. Crazy pick, but it's my pick here. And to pair that with, I mean, we have Kenergy, and you know, if you go back in time, there's a lot of different actors who have that Kenergy in their life, and John Travolta is one of them who very much exuberance this. And there's like 3 John Travolta movies on this list, so I'm really kind of like questioning which one to go with. I think to stay with what my personal favorites are, I think I'm gonna go with Saturday Night Fever, because you got Bee Gees in this, you got John Travolta with some sick dance moves. The movie may not be great, but you just have some very like funny moments and just really cool guy energy radiating off of John Travolta's character here.
I'm gonna be honest, Dylan, I haven't seen either of those films.
Well, you're missing out.
I was worried you were going to take Grease, which is one of my least favorite films ever made. I think Grease is absolutely awful.
Well, that's why I said there's multiple John Travolta movies here. Grease is probably the much more beloved one, but Saturday Night Fever just hits that tone that you really want from a movie like that. Like, clearly a movie in that style would never be made today, because who's going to buy a ticket to that? But I'm so glad that it does exist, because it's one of those movies that you could watch at any age, just like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and walk away from it just feeling so happy, so enthused, and just be like, this was a boom-in time.
I think that's a great pick. It's a better John Travolta pick than Grease. That's what I'll say for sure. For my next pick, I'm going to take another popular one. One of probably my top 20, top 30 movies ever made. So I'm going to go to the boy Alfred Hitchcock with Rear Window, which is an incredible thriller movie. It's an interesting comparison, but I don't fully see it. That said, it's one of the best movies on this list. Now, there are so many films that I could do for my last slot here, and it pains me because I would have also taken A Matter of Life and Death. I'm not going to take that right now, though. But this one is so wonderfully artificial. It is basically like Soul by Pixar, except from the 1940s, and everything is a giant practical set. Like, there's a giant stairway to heaven that is literally a massive escalator that's just going up, and there's this set piece where they're in heaven or whatever, but there's these holes that they can look down onto Earth, and all of it is like these built models. Absolutely incredible. Like, one of the greatest films ever made. Other films that I want to give a shout out to on this list, there's also Playtime, which is very, very key to the Mattel scenes in Barbie. Playtime is a hilarious movie. And then lastly, there's The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, and that one is one of the most colorful, bright, pink musicals ever made. But instead of taking The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, I'm going to take a film by the same director that I prefer just a little bit more, and that is The Young Girls of Rochefort. This one, I think, is maybe the best movie musical ever made. It was instrumental to La La Land. It is a French musical where the camera just floats around effortlessly. It's got great songs, incredible choreography. Gene Kelly is in it as an American tourist. The costumes are beautiful. Everything about this is amazing. And they basically ripped off all the costumes in this movie for Barbie. But there's so much on this list that I wish I could have taken. I probably could have made a team of 5 just off of films that neither of us took here.
I mean, that's the beauty of drafts like this, is when you have so many things out there, and that's why you out there should comment down below what would be your first overall pick, because maybe you take 2001, maybe you take Godfather, but there's so much else here. But to round out our draft, I mean, yeah, maybe I passed up on Rear Window, which is a great film. You know, I just thought maybe that would last back to me, because we were going a little bit off the walls with some picks. However, here I gotta come with another big hitter, and I gotta come with a Palme d'Or winner. So give me all that jazz.
That was another one I was gonna mention as like a wonderful, wonderful movie, Bob Fosse.
All That Jazz is just very iconic, and I mean, the music in there is great too, and the music in Barbie's pretty great as well. So there's some influence there. There's more influence, but go out and see Barbie, see the influence for yourself. But yes, here's our teams. Definitely let us know who you think's gonna win. But before you do that, let's recap what our teams were. Matt had the first overall pick, so Matt, tell us what you had today.
Well, first overall, I took 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I followed that up with Singin' in the Rain, and then The Wizard of Oz, Rear Window, and finally, The Young Girls of Rochefort.
Yeah, I mean, I think you won. But my team is The Godfather, The Truman Show, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Saturday Night Fever, and all that jazz.
I do think this is actually going to be a pretty contentious one, and this one is going to really come down to how y'all vote out there. Are y'all going to vote for your favorite film? Are you going to vote for your favorite team overall? I recommend voting for your favorite team overall, not your favorite film, because then The Godfather will win. Yeah, this has been our Barbie watch list draft, and I'm so excited to talk Barbie with you, Dylan. I'm very, very anxious to hear your thoughts on this movie. But until then, you'll just have to make do, because that won't come out till tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, my name's Matt.
My name's Dyl, and this is Fantasy Filmball.